Let's start with the original Bibles, the very first Bibles. Maybe not Bibles, but where they came from. Where did the Bibles come from? So when I'm talking about, oh, this guy translated, whatever into the Bible, where did this come from? So where do these ancient scrolls come from? So it's my fault. I didn't figure out the locations of everything, but I'll give you a general idea of where everything came from and where. But let me give two honorable mentions that I did not include in my notes because I did a lot of research and there's two that I left out. And this is mainly by accident. The Textus Receptus, which is, I think, receiving text in Latin. And then that's one location where the scriptures came from, some of the manuscripts. And then there's the Codex Alexandrinus. I think like scholars, when they start looking at the Bible, they look at the Codex Alexandrinus and they compare it to other ones. So if you're wondering, what's the Textus Receptus? What's the Codex Alexandrinus? Essentially, it's just like ancient manuscripts, ancient scrolls or text, if you want to say. But anyway, so we're looking at, so we got a few of them. I'll just show you the notes. We got this, and I'll flip, and then we got this one. So yeah. Anyway, let's just go for it. So I don't know how to pronounce all these. I'll just go with it. But I made a video earlier and it was about the translation of the Bible that Jesus used. So Jesus used an Old Testament version of the Tanakh, but it was a Greek translation, I believe, of the Tanakh, which is just Tanakh is Old Testament. So essentially it was just, actually Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, right? Yeah. And then the Tanakh is the whole Hebrew Old Testament. Well, Jesus had something called the, what was it? Do you remember what the name of it was? Septuagint. Yeah, Septuagint. That's what it was. But I'll spell it. Septuagint. And it's also called the LXX, which I think is 50 or 25 in Roman, or is it 500? I don't even know anymore. I'll have the correct number here. So anyway, here we go. So here's the original Bible. So tuck in. This is the original one. So go get some popcorn. I'm not saying this is gonna be a long video, but let's just do it. So the Codex Sinaiticus. Now I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the Codex Sinaiticus. And if you're getting bells in your head, like bells are ringing, it sounds like Mount Sinai. Well, that's actually where it was found, near Mount Sinai. It is the earliest known manuscript of the Christian Bible, discovered in St. Catherine's Monastery at the foot of Mount Sinai. The Codex Sinaiticus is online. You can find it online. Now, keep in mind, I didn't find it. I didn't see it online by my eyes, but that's what it said. So it says that it's online. So I'll confirm it right here if it is or isn't. This consists of the Septuagint. I just talked about that. The version that Jesus used, the Greek versions. And let's see, the Greek Bible. Yeah, that's the Greek Bible. It is a translation of the Torah created by the Jews. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it was created by the Jews. And so, because some of them knew Greek, so they wanted the Septuagint, basically. The Septuagint, I don't know. Another consideration is the Dead Sea Scrolls of Isaiah. And I think I talked about that. It was in a cave near the Dead Sea. So imagine you're like an archaeologist, and there's like pictures online. I don't know if I can put the picture online, but I don't know how like copyright and stuff works, but there's like a picture online and it's basically like, I'll give you a description. It's like a desert, like hole, almost like imagine like an inside of an igloo. It's like that, but it looks like sand, the color of sand. And it's like, that's where it was found. So then we have the Aleppo Codex. Now, the Dead Sea Scrolls are just a big collection of stuff from the Bible. I believe the Old Testament. The Aleppo Codex is the oldest Hebrew Bible that survived. So, yeah, I believe it's the whole Bible, the whole Hebrew Bible, created by scribes called Masoretes. Yeah, Masoretes and Tiberius, Israel, around 970 CE, so 970 AD. Incomplete text. So it's it's not the whole thing. It's incomplete. So. Yeah, the next one is the Leningradan Codex. Leningrad, I'm not sure what to say. I think it's Leningrad. Dude, my handwriting's terrible. Look right here. That's terrible. What was I trying to say? Leningrad Codex is the oldest complete Hebrew Bible. I love how they're all saying complete and it's not complete. Well, actually, it didn't say complete. Whatever. Dates to 1008 CE, so 1008 AD. So that's actually a long time ago. So 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, all the way to 20,000, which is where we're at today. The scribe wrote his name. Oh, yeah, this is really cool. So the guy that wrote this codex actually wrote his name in it. So the guy that wrote this ancient Bible codex, his name, this is actually really cool. His name is Samuel, son of Jacob. So I asked my wife earlier, look up like a guy, was Samuel the son of Jacob? She said no. So obviously, so yeah, he wasn't him, but because there's a biblical character named Samuel and Jacob. Written in Cairo, and let's see, Meverak, son of Nathaniel. So basically, I'm trying to think, commissioned it. So yeah, I guess he commissioned it to be written, but there's like details of selling and donating and stuff like that. There's like other details in it that talk about, I guess, where it came from or what happened to it. But it's pretty interesting. So like, imagine like you're an ancient human and you write this ancient biblical codex. Now in that day, it's your present day. So you're not thinking, oh, it's an ancient codex. What you're thinking is, oh, this is what I'm writing today. So you write something, you put your name on it thousands of years later. Like this is like over 19,000 years later, we find a guy, his name is Samuel, son of Jacob. And he was commissioned by Meverak, son of Nathaniel, to write it, basically. I mean, that's pretty interesting. So, and what are these written on? So you're probably wondering, like, what like they found these, but what? Like, what was it? It was leaves. So they found like these things written on either papyrus paper, I believe, or just leaves. So they find it on leaves, and sometimes you'd have like these leaves, like hundreds of leaves, but some of them are missing because it's not complete. So some of them may have burned away or lost with time, whatever. So just imagine going through an ancient, like, monastery or something, and all of a sudden you just see, like an ancient text. So Ashkor Gilson manuscript, I believe it's Ashkor. It's a remnant of the Torah scroll, and it contains parts of Exodus, parts of the book of Exodus. So that's interesting. So this, I don't know if it's Ashkor, Ashkar. I don't even know. Dude, my spelling's so bad. I don't even know. I'll correct myself. So yeah, this manuscript is a remnant of the Torah, of a Torah scroll. So I believe this is a part of a Torah scroll, but not necessarily the whole thing. And let's see, and contains part of the book of Exodus. So remember, Genesis, Exodus is the second book in the Torah. So the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Masoretic text. Now, this is a word I heard a lot. I was like, what is this? And I went to research deeper and deeper, and I couldn't figure it out. But finally, I figured it out. So Masoretic text is a Hebrew and Aramaic text of the 24 books of the Hebrew Bible. So basically, yeah. So it's the books of the Hebrew Bible, and Hebrew and Aramaic, sorry. And it was meticulously copied down by the Masoretes. Now, I don't know if that's how I pronounce it, but Masoretes. These are the people that long time ago, they stumbled across these scrolls. They're like, ooh, let's meticulously copy it. And they were so meticulous that they got every little detail. And yeah, there's like little inconsistencies. So for example, like when Sarah bought this, I'm just giving an example. This isn't necessarily real, but when Sarah bought this, did she buy 1 hat or 3 hats? Because it might be the same sounding word in those languages. So those are little things. So yeah, let's see. So it was the Jewish Bible copied by the Masoretes. Now the Codex Vaticanus. Sounds like something you'd find in a deep Vatican vault, deep Vatican vault or something. It is a manuscript. It's a little older than the Sinaiticus, so the Codex Sinaiticus, and it contains part of the Old Testament and New Testament. It's also online. So the Sinaiticus, and I'll confirm if that's online. I know I didn't look it up, but I'll confirm it. And it's actually, and I believe the Sinaiticus contains part of the Old and New Testament too. I can't exactly remember, but I think it does, or at least contains the Old, but. So I'm closing my book. You have to understand is like these texts. So you might have I'll just create numbers. Or letters, the A text containing A, B, and C. Then you have like the B text containing A, B, C, D, and E. Then you have like the C text, which contains D and E. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like all over the place. And they're like, oh, this one's missing pages or leaves or whatever. So they fill it in with these other texts that they found that sounds remotely similar to this one. So they're just like playing like a big game of detective puzzle solve, basically, to try to figure out how the Bible, And so over ancient, ancient years, million or not, what am I talking about? And this wasn't Jurassic, like they found it under some dinosaur egg or something. They're like, Jesus was around the time the dinosaurs, like that never happened. Could you imagine that though? Like a pterodactyl flying in the sky and just like drops off a Codex Sinaiticus. They're just like, dude, a Bible fell from the sky. Anyway, keep in mind that these are not the original. I know I said original, but it's the original, but copies of the original. So essentially these were so old that they got lost with time. So people who were very, and I sort of trust that these Bibles, or at least Bible codexes and manuscripts, were done correct over time, because I believe the people that took care of them really cared about it. And I think they really cared about their religion. They didn't want anything to happen to it, because this is in a time where, like, when they would say Yahweh is the name of Hebrew name of Jesus, they would put like YWH. So they filled in the letters, YAHEW, because in the old manuscripts, it was YHW. It was just all consonants. Sorry. It was all consonants. So they didn't want to disrespect the name of God. So they filled in some letters, but they wouldn't even say that word. They wouldn't even say Yahweh. They wouldn't even try, because they didn't want to get his name wrong. Excuse me. So the point of what I'm saying is they were so meticulous to keep up with it that I don't think they messed it up. I mean, Jesus never said that the scribes completely messed up the text. He just said they were misteaching, or they would teach and they would, add extra or whatever, but he didn't say they completely doctored the text or anything like that. So I believe that the scribes are the people, I believe, that wrote the law. I think it was like, if I'm right now, I don't even know if I'm going to fact check this, but if I'm right, the scribes were the people that found the ancient text and copied it into modern language, their modern language, and we find their language, Anyway, yeah, that's it. And thank you for watching.